The following segment is sponsored by Maryland Oncology Hematology. They've opened a new cancer center in Silver Spring, which hones in on their goals of treating the whole person in cancer care. I spoke to oncologist and medical director Dr. Firozvi. Dr. Firozvi, so good to have you here. How are you?
Fine, thank you. It's so great to be here. I appreciate the invitation to come.
Absolutely. Well, we are looking forward to talking about this advancements in cancer treatment. But first, let's start with you. How did you get into cancer treatment?
Thank you for asking. I've been practicing medicine and oncology specifically now for about 20 years. And honestly, I didn't realize I was going to do oncology. I thought initially I would do primary care because I loved having great relationships with patients. But I also love the science of cancer care and being able to blend humanities and science together was what really appealed to me about oncology, and that's why I chose this field. And so now I work with Maryland Oncology Hematology, which is a large practice here in the state of Maryland, and we spread across the entire state. And I currently work at the White Oak Cancer Center, where I serve as the director, where we take care of patients from the beginning of diagnosis all the way through their treatment and through their success.
Well, as a two-time cancer survivor myself, the importance of having oncologists like you that are passionate about it and really always looking for the advancements in medicine is, we're so blessed in this area to have doctors like you. You all talk about treating the whole person when it comes to cancer. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, it's a great question. And so cancer, unfortunately, when it arrives in someone's life, it takes over their entire life. It doesn't just affect their one body part. It affects the entire person, not only in terms of their physical state, but their mental state, their emotional state, their spiritual state, and also how they interact with their family members and their friends and their work. And so if we approach cancer care in a very piecemeal approach, we're not doing justice to a patient as they're going through this incredible ordeal. And so if we want to do the best we can for our patients, we have to look at the whole picture and not just look at a tree. We have to look at the forest. And so if we do that, we can achieve a better outcome for our patients. And I tell my students and other colleagues that, when we're trying to deal with cancer, it's important, it's very easy to be a cook and just follow guidelines. Mm-hmm. But there's a difference between a cook and a chef. And we have to approach the patient with our experience and our know-how and be able to translate that to a comprehensive approach.
Well, absolutely. And everybody, we say this all the time, but everybody is different. Everybody's body is going to react different. Everybody's mind is going to react different. So how are you all taking kind of a different way instead of that cookie cutter? Like, walk us through kind of if you're approaching a patient.
Great question. So we are here at the White Oak Cancer Center. We're the only community comprehensive cancer center in this Silver Spring area. And what we did when we built this is we asked ourselves, what do patients want? And so we actually had a patient family advisory council who was involved in every decision point when it came to the design, the layout, how we made patient flow, what we did with all of our rooms, our exam rooms. We don't even call them exam rooms, we call them consultation rooms. And we made sure that the patient perspective was involved from the very get-go, from the designs phase. But what we also did at the macro level is we said, okay, what are all the things that patients need when they're diagnosed with cancer? Because for a cancer patient, the most important thing that they have and that they want is time. And what they don't want to do is spend all their time running from place to place. And so we ensured that everything that a patient could need for cancer care is here in one roof.
Especially in a bigger city, going from place to place to place, you just don't need to do that. What are some of the updates or new changes in cancer care? What is precision medicine? What can you tell me about that?
Sure. It's really one of the paradigm shifts that is happening in cancer care. And I believe that oncology and cancer is really driving this for all of medicine. So just to give you an example that I think really speaks to what's happening. In the past, we used to take women with breast cancer and treat 100 women to only benefit a handful of patients because we knew that many women were getting chemo who didn't need it. And the result of that is they'd have side effects and complications from that treatment. Now what we do is we test all 100 women and we identify only those patients based upon the tumor's genetic makeup as well as the individual's predisposition to developing cancer. We take all that information together and we then identify which patient needs treatment, and we don't treat the ones who don't need treatment. And if you do need treatment, which drugs may be most suitable for that disease and that patient's condition. And that is a very different way of doing things than what we've done in the past. And it really makes it so that the cancer is not only more effectively treated, but also so that people can live their lives with less complications and less side effects, because truly cancer is becoming a chronic disease, if not cured.
Well, it's such a relief knowing we have doctors again in this area that are thinking about that. And it's not the cookie cutter approach. It's a personalized approach. Dr. Firozvi, so good to have you here. Thank you so much for sharing all this with us.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure to be here.
For more information, visit MarylandOncology.com.